Hi, today I'm going to show you how to update your Honeywell device firmware with VMware Workspace One. So before you start, you need to find out what is the current firmware version you're running on your Honeywell device. So first of all, just bring up the launcher screen, go to Settings, then click on About Phone, scroll right down the bottom, and you'll have a build number there. On my particular device, it's 88.00.06-0075. So that's your build number. So record that number, and then you can work out which firmware version you need to download. So next thing you need to do is go to our download website. The address is hsmftp.honeywell.com. You'll need to create an account for this site if you don't have one, but the access is granted immediately. So once you log in, you'll see this screen, the list of software. If you haven't downloaded anything from this site before, you need to install the Honeywell Download Manager. Just click on the link right here, and it'll install the Download Manager for you. The other thing you'll need to do is make sure you allow pop-ups from this particular site. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to find the software. So you'll just expand software, expand computer devices, handheld, and so whatever product that you're trying to update. But pretty much all the mobility edge devices are virtually the same. They run the same firmware, but so the CT40, CT60, CN80, CK65, VM1A, the VM3A, and also the RTN and mobility edge devices. So click on any of those devices. The device I'm looking at right now is a CT40. I open that. So I have the three different Android operating systems I can choose from. So remembering my build number, it was 88. So 88 means it's an Android 9 operating system. 86 is an Android 8, and 84 is an Android 7 operating system. But anyway, you'll just open up the correct folder. The correct folder. And then you have two options. You'll have a GMS version or a Google Mobile Services version. So these images include the Play Store, Chrome, Google Maps, Location Services, Play Protect, and then you have non-GMS. So by default, all of our devices are pretty much running GMS from the factory. So you're probably running GMS. You expand that out. So in the main folder of GMS, you'll have the current kernel right there. So Hun660p 88.00.06.0075. So you'll notice that was the same as what I was running, but pretty much, obviously if you're trying to update your device, this is going to be the very latest. So this one here is the full version, the full OTA. So it's about 1.2 gigabytes, but and the advantage of using the full version is that it doesn't matter what version you're currently running, you can use this latest full OTA and update it. But if you want to minimize the amount of the size of the update, then you want to use the incrementals. So that's where it's actually very important to know what version you're currently running. So to open the incrementals, you click on incremental. Then you'll see in the Android 9 world, Honeywell's released two versions, and 88.0003 or MR3, and also we've released 88.00.05 MR5. So that's where it's important that you're going to match the version you had. Maybe you're running 88.00.03, and then you want to go to the latest, which is 88.00.06. So you're going to download this this top one right here. So you're just going to click on download, open the Honeywell software downloader. It'll pop up there and it'll start to download. So you can see this update is only 600 megabytes, so it's actually, I guess it's a relatively small update, but it's certainly it's a lot better than 1.2 gigabytes. So that will go ahead and download. So that's that. So the next step, once you actually download that that target firmware you need to create a provisioning command file. So to create that provisioning command file, you're going to use Honeywell's Enterprise Provisioner. So you can also download Honeywell Enterprise Provisioner from this website as well. It's inside Software and Tools, Device Management, Enterprise Provisioner. So you'll install that, but if you have it already installed, you're just going to launch it. Then you'll be presented with this screen right here. So it's really easy to actually create a provisioning command file. So you're going to click on provisioning. And then you're going to create a task. So the task is going to be, you'll select from this drop down here, and it's going to be a software update task. And then you're going to actually put down the location of where you're going to be hosting that OTA or the zip file you're downloading. So you might be hosting it on your own internal web server or your own internal FTP server, or you might be somewhere on the internet. But you're going to put the full path of wherever you'll be hosting that file. So for example, would be www.mywebhosting.com and then the name of the file. So let me go back to the name of the file. And that's exactly what it's going to look like. So this provisioning command file is going to be sent out by AirWatch, or by Workspace One, to the Honeywell device, and it's going to command it or tell it to go out to this web server here, download that zip file, and then apply it as a software update. But you can also just literally do the update from a location on the device. So to do that, you'll simply type sdcard downloads and then the name of the file. So in that case, what you'll do is you'll actually send the OTA with Workspace One to the device downloads folder, and then once that file has been transferred by Workspace One to the device, this provisioning command file is going to take over, and it's going to apply the software update from this location on the device itself. So there's two options there. So what I'll do, I'll actually use this as the example of how you would complete this process. So we've got our provisioning command file done. We need to export this out. So we just go File, Export, and the thing we're going to export is a task, or the tasks. So we select Provisioning Tasks, Export, and it's going to be called Provisioner.xml. So that actually name is very important. We can't change that, and it's going to be saved into my temp EP demo directory. Okay, now that is done, we need to open up Workspace One. Okay, once you've opened up your Workspace One instance, you're just going to go to your devices and then to the dashboard, and you're going to select on provisioning, and then open up components, and we're going to basically create a product, and the product is going to be made up of the file and actions. So we select file actions. Just log in again. Okay, we've opened files and actions, and you're going to just select add file actions. It's Android, and you'll give it a name. So this name will be deploy firmware update MR3 to MR6 Honeywell. You have a version. Then you're going to add your files. So check my downloads. I'm only 59% complete. But let's pretend and we'll open up another file. You know, something smaller, I guess, which will be a bit easier. So, for example, this debug.log. I'm just going to rename the whole file as it would if it was downloaded. So there it is. Can choose that, update, save. Okay, so it doesn't like certain things in the file, so I'll just choose it again. The actual what the file is named doesn't actually matter too much, so you can take out those characters. It doesn't like. Just copy that for reference. And then you're going to give it the download path. So remember before we actually said that it was going to be inside the downloads folder. So just type in sdcard, which is the internal storage on a Honeywell device, Android device, sdcard, downloads, and then the name of the file. So that's where it's going to be stored on the device. Do save. The next thing is you want to choose a manifest. And then once that file is installed, you're going to want to trigger an intent, or, actually there's one thing I forgot to do as well. Of course, we're going to need to actually push the provisioning command file. So I'm going to add the file, choose the file. So we save that in our temp directory. EP demo, Provisioner.xml. Save. And the actual download path of this is very important. So This has to be an SD card, Honeywell with a lowercase h, and Provisioner.xml. So should it look exactly like this? So our command file is going to be saved on the device, internal storage, Honeywell, Provisioner.xml, save. Okay, that's good. So we've got the two things we need in place to make this firmware update work. Then finally, we have our manifest. So the manifest is going to trigger an intent, or literally make the Honeywell device process that Provisioner.xml file and instruct it to complete the firmware update. So we're going to select Add Action, and the action is Run Intent. So this is exactly what the intent needs to look like. So what I'll do is I'll actually paste this in the comments of this video so you can copy it. But pretty much what it's doing is making the some processes on the Honeywell device really import the provisioning XML file, which is at SD card Honeywell. It's going to import that and action it. So we just really literally copy and paste and paste it in this command line. And now we're done. You can see it's all there. And then we select Save. So the last step we need to do is create a product. And the product's going to contain this file actions, and we're going to assign it to your devices or your set of devices, and they'll complete the upgrade. So you'll just go to your product list view. You're going to add a product. It's an Android product. And the name is going to be Install Honeywell Firmware MR-A9 MR3 to MR6. Then you can assign it to some of your groups. So I'll assign it to Honeywell ANZ, and then the manifest. So the manifest is saying, well, what is inside my product. So I'm going to select Add, and I'm going to select File Action Install. So it's going to install the file action we just created. Let's install File Action, and we called it MR3. Actually, I can't recall what actually been called it. Oh, there we are. FW update MR3 to MR6 Honeywell. We don't need this. We select Save. And really that is done. So we're just going to activate it, and that'll apply to the devices. And as per the provisioning command right here, the first thing it's going to do is copy the OTA directly to the downloads folder on the Honeywell device. And the next thing it's going to do is run this command file, and the command file is a software update, and it's looking at the file which Workspace One has just downloaded. It's going to apply that, so it doesn't require any reboot on the device to have it activated. It will just happen in the background while the user is working with the device, and when it's complete, the user is prompted to reboot their device. So I hope that was a useful session, and please reach out via the comments if you have any questions.